Hello, my name is Kami, and this is my guide to Eden Turn 4 Savage. Alright, the strat used is the Pug strat. The callouts will be on the left. Alright, this first mechanic going out is going to be Stonecrusher. It's going to be a tank buster on the main tank. It's going to hit him 3 times. He's going to need to do Hollow Ground, Home Gang, Super Bolide, or Living Dead. Now the party must get ready for tiles and triangles. These tiles will be random all over the arena with triangles on each player. Each player needs to have an assigned spot to where they go take their triangle after the random tiles blow up. Evil Earth and squares will be next. You have to be really fast with this. There's a slow pattern and there's a fast pattern. My group got the slow pattern, so we stack either A or B corner and then move in quickly for the damage. Healers need to immediately heal through the damage and get ready for the Voice of Land AoE next. The next mechanic about to pop up is going to be the knockback. After the knockback, you need to use arm's length, sure cast, any sort of knockback prevention you have. Right when the boss jumps, get ready for Faultzone or massive landslide. Make sure to check your markers. My group got Faultzone. Make sure to be on the side of the boss, and once you're on the side you get knocked away. Everyone needs to move in 1 tile while watching out for the main tank who has to move in 2 tiles. Magnitude 5.0 will be casted. Make sure everyone's underneath the boss and get ready to spread for triangles. Have assigned spots for triangles for this as well. Now the main tank will be dragging the boss to the center of the arena and getting ready for Crumbling Down. There's different ways to handle Crumbling Down. My group goes west to east to dropping red markers. DPS will drop their red marker at C, tanks and heals drop them at A. The second set of red markers are out. Tanks and heals drop them at B, DPS drop them at D. Immediately after dropping markers, we run to A and C side and get behind the pillar that's not lit up. There's going to be 2 different ways to handling this. Alright, your group can get 2 different patterns, the second bomb set or the third bomb set. If they get the third, they wait for the center bombs to blow up and then they move in. Now for the second bomb set you must be a lot faster. You wait for seismic wave to go off, move in just a hair into the tile, wait for the center bombs to blow up and V-line it straight toward the center. Fast. Sprint if you have to. Now we get ready for the next AoE. This is where I like to Voke because there's going to be a tank buster right after this Voice of Land. So the tank that has Voked, get ready for the Stonecrusher. It's going to hit him 3 times once again, and he needs to use his Emblem. Immediately after the Stonecrusher, the party must get ready for the next Geocrush knockback. Now if you're a tank, you must not use your arm's length here. You will need it for second phase. If you're a DPS or healer, you're more than welcome to use your knockback prevention if you like, but some people like to save it for uptime. Since the boss did Faultzone during the very beginning of the fight, he's going to do massive landslide. All players need to be in front of the boss or underneath the boss for the markers. Immediately when the sides blow up, the party needs to move to the sides, and then in front of the boss will blow up. The main tank needs to pull it to the center of the arena and get ready for the AoE. Right after this Voice of Land AoE, the party must get ready for the landslide jump. So, depending on where the boss faces, that is where he's going to jump. The only safe spots will be the back left or the back right of the boss, these 2 tiles. Immediately after, the party must watch out for the next landslide, move away from the highlighted area, and look where the second bomb set is placed. For my group, it's placed over there by C marker. So we'll chill by C, wait for the bombs to blow up, move back in. Immediately after, make sure to burn the boss as much as possible. The goal is to get the boss to 70% or lower by the end of first phase. If the boss is not at 70% or lower, your group will have a difficult time clearing. So make sure they push extra hard in second phase if it's not 70% or lower. During the second phase, I like to keep main tanking the boss all the way until final phase. Now, the party must get ready for the first raid-wide AoE, Earthen Fury. What I like to do is have 1 tank always reprisal each Earthen Fury while the other reprisals tank busters or tumults. After this raid-wide, the party must get ready for 2 fists and tiles. Random fists will light up. You need to avoid the random fists. Whichever side lit up first, get to the opposite side. So A side lit up first, staying on B. B side lit up. Now we move over to A. and then B side will get hit while dodging tiles. Now the party must get ready for knockback puddles, tank buster on each tank, and a blue marker. Both tanks need to pop arms length here while mitigating the tank buster shortly after. Blue marker player needs to get knocked to their own quadrant. Immediately after, there will be a tank share called Megalith. Now the party must get ready for the first uplift. Tanks and healers will always be south on the back uplift. DPS will always be north on the front uplift. 2 blue markers will go out on random players. They need to take it to the bottom far corners. Squares and triangles will be next. Squares go to the area where there's 2 tiles lit up. Triangles go where there's 1 tile lit up. And like always, if you're a square, you make sure to stack with your other squares. And if you're a triangle, make sure to be on your own tile. Immediately after, the whole group needs to run toward the center rock to mitigate the Earthen Fury raid wide. I always like to reprisal every raid wide as a tank. Make sure everyone stacks in tightly for the raid wide and make sure healers mitigate it. It does massive damage. Next will be healer gels and arms. You watch which arm raises up in the air, and that's the side he will destroy first. We always have assigned healer spots. One healer will always go north, one healer will always go south. We like to make sure our healers are at an assigned angle for range LB2. This is how we do our uptime strat. Now, whichever platform the boss just hit, we must save that healer first. So he hit the south platform, we must save the south healer first. We always have both tanks and 1 DPS on the gel. The rest of the DPS, always just keep focusing the boss. If you do the range LB2 strat, it will hit both gels and the boss. Now we must watch out for this next arm and get to the safe side. Now depending on your group, you might use your pots around this time. Now, after he destroys the platform, the group must get ready for another Earthen Fury raid wide, followed by 5 AoEs. So now we get ready for the 5 AoEs, the Tumult. I usually like to do Heart of Light here. If you're a Paladin, maybe Divine Veil, or Dark Missionary, or Shake It Off. The next mechanic will be another knockback puddle, tank buster on each tank, and blue marker. Tanks, make sure to use arm's length, make sure to pop mitigation for the tank busters. Blue marker, make sure to get knocked to your own quadrant. Now the party must get ready for Evil Earth and 2 fists. Watch out for the fists that light up, and also watch out for the pulsating Evil Earth. During this phase, as the Evil Earth is pulsating, you always move into it, but make sure you don't move into a fist that's about to hit the arena. Now the party must get ready for the second uplift. We have assigned groups for the second uplift, 1 tank, 1 healer, and 2 DPS per sides, and you just get with your group for the stack of the squares. Once the uplift rises, both healers will get healer gels once again. They need to be on their own tile, but very close to the other tiles. Everyone else will get triangles. They need to make sure they're on their own tile and save their healer immediately. Shortly after saving your healers, both tanks will get a blue marker, or both healers will get a blue marker. They must take them down. They must take them down to the far corners. The next mechanic going out will be squares on all DPS. They must go to the 2 lit up tile area. And finally, since both healers got the blue marker at the start of the phase, both tanks will get a blue marker now. And as always, take it to the far corners. Immediately after, everyone needs to rush into the center rock, give mitigation for the Earthen Fury raid wide. Like I said, I always like to reprisal these. Now the healers must get ready for this next mechanic, Tumult. It's 5 AoEs, make sure your party is stacked in tightly and give mitigation. Immediately after the Tumult, the arm will raise once again. He will destroy one of the sides. Since we know which side he's destroying, the tanks get ready for the tank share. Make sure to pop a cooldown accordingly to survive the tank share with your co-tank. The boss will soon raise his arm once again and destroy a platform shortly. He will either destroy A quadrant or D quadrant in this footage. A good tip to know is, the first quadrant he destroyed, he will always destroy a quadrant next to that. Immediately after, all markers will go out, triangles, squares, and a blue marker. The blue marker will have his own quadrant all by himself. In pub groups, the squares always stack closest to the center 4 squares. Now we must get ready for another Earthen Fury raid wide AoE. Make sure to give some mitigation for it. And then we go into final phase. You want to make sure to have the boss around 30 to 29% before final phase starts. Now the party's back to fighting Small Titan. Immediately grab hate of the boss and get ready for the raid wide with a dot, Earthen Fury. So make sure to give lots of mitigation, reprisal, Heart of Light, Divine Bell, anything you can. Remember, this dot ticks very hard, so make sure to give that mitigation. Now everyone gets markers. Tanks and healers always get squares at the start. DPS always get triangles. Rotate 5 times around the boss, 1 time. Rotate again, 2 times. Rotate again, 3 times. Blow up markers on your 3rd tile. Rotate 1 more time to the 4th tile. Then get ready for the next mechanic. Now get ready for the knockback puddle, tank buster on each tank, and blue marker. Make sure to pop arms link both tanks and pop an emblem if you're the tank tanking the boss, and make sure blue marker gets his own quadrant. Immediately after, make sure you stack in for the 7 AoEs, the Voice of the Land followed by Tumult, then another Voice of the Land. You want to make sure to stack in close for the heals if you're one of the tanks. If you're the main tank, make sure to pop extra cooldowns to help out your healers. After this last Voice of the Land, get ready for the raid wide with the dot, Earthen Fury. Make sure reprisal and give lots of mitigation. Shake it off, Heart of Light, Divine Bell, Dark Missionary, anything helps. Immediately after, the co-tank should voke. Pull the boss to the center and get ready for the next merry-go-round. It's always DPS squares, tanks and healers triangles. Get ready for the merry-go-round. Rotate 4 times. 1, 2, and then rotate once more. 3. Blow up your markers here. Rotate once more. And then get ready for the next mechanic. Once again, the boss will be casting fists. Just watch out for the glowing fists and avoid them at all costs. Immediately after the 2 fists hit, make sure to not be in front of the boss because the tank buster will go out on the main tank. Stonecrusher, once again, he'll be hitting the main tank 3 times. This time, he will have his emblem up, so make sure he pops it. And then after these 3 hits, the co-tank will stack with him for the tank share, the Megalith. And like always for the tank share, make sure to pop some mitigation. Immediately after this tank share, everyone needs to stack in super tightly. Get ready for the raid wide with a dot, the Earthen Fury, one last time. This time, get ready to give all the mitigation you possibly can. Now we go back to one last merry-go-round rotation. Remember, it's going to be on tanks and healer squares, DPS triangles. So we move 1 time, then we're going to move again. And then remember, always on the 3rd tile you move to, you blow up your markers. And then you rotate 1 last time, and then watch out for fists. So just make sure to watch out for the glowing fists. It might light up twice, or it might light up the other fists. So for us, it lit up the same fist twice, so we just stayed on this side. To be able to clear this fight, you need the boss at 6% right when the first Voice of the Land goes out. Now get ready for the 5 Tumult AoEs. After these 5 Tumult AoEs, the boss will be casting another Voice of the Land AoE. Then he'll go back into 5 Tumult AoEs. Then finally, he will do 1 more Voice of the Land AoE before the Hard Enrage. Make sure your party's stacked in real tightly for heals, and make sure to give as much mitigation as possible during these AoEs. Also, make sure your main tank is stacked real close to the party, but still facing the boss forward. And make sure he's popping cooldowns as well to help prevent himself from dying. And like always, don't forget to LB3. Alright guys, and that is it. If you liked the video, make sure to like it, subscribe. If you have any questions, post in the comments below. I will be posting the callouts and the timestamps in the description shortly, so hope you enjoyed it. Take care.